Can't thank Army Painter enough for a lovely gift. More on that before shading. Recently, Warhammer released their new crest campaign, Darkwater. You have seen me paint up the Malakelpies from there for this month's short, but now I have decided to dedicate a video on Gelgus Pust himself. Surely, this won't bite me in the back. Run, Gelgus Pust, later. Help. To start this passionate Prince of Plagues, I primed the entire model with matte black. For basing, here is all the paints you'll be needing. Due to the nature of the model's army of Nurgle, there will be more paints needed for the layering and shading step. For now, gather up all of these and get ready to paint. Begin this step with some Gargoyle Grey. Use this over all the visible skin found over the model. Then I followed it up with some Banshee Brown to go over all the leather, wood, bone and bug bits found all over the model. After that, use some Wolf Grey over the handles of both the maul and sword. Do be careful when going near the areas we already painted. For the piece of cloth at the bottom, use some Scarab Green over the entire thing, but keep the Scarab Green nearby as you won't be finished with it yet. Dusty Skull time now, being used for all the skulls on the base and model, alongside the centered half of the horns. Once we get to the layering stage, the two-toning will look much better. Now for all the stuff that gives him his name. Start adding in some Glowing Inferno over all of the spots and pustules found over all the model. Cleaning up time. Use some matte black over the entire bristle mane thing on Gelgus, alongside his eyes, mouth and talons on his feet. Don't forget to make the lower bug limbs half and half of black and brown. After that, keep the matte black to the side for the end. And now it's time for metallics. Start by going over all the armor, chainmail, sword and mace with plate mail metal. Make sure to do a few thin coats so it's all nice and clean. Add in some evil chrome to go over all of the trinkets and designs found on all the metal areas. Then we can begin shading all of the model. But first, let's talk about Army Painter. They have been so kind to give me a whole bunch of starter sets for their paints. I think this is a really great way of getting into painting through this band of paint, and it honestly deserves some praise for being not specifically unique for only like a single army or two. The Fanatic paint set is really cool, giving you all the primary colours alongside black, white, a wash and even a metallic colour, as well as a paint primer, brush and mini to try out painting before buying any kit. The speed paint set comes with a whole ton of different colours that aren't like the Citadel speed paints, only needing one coat for coverage. This also comes with a brush, and this is the only speed painting brand I know of that actually comes with metallic speed paints, which is cool! And finally, the airbrush set. Now I haven't really shown off any airbrushing on this channel. That isn't because I don't have an airbrush, I do have one, and use it for priming on rainy days, but it's more of a thing of managing to record it without damaging any recording device and also getting it in frame. But I'll try to see what I can do in the future. Most painting sets come with a painting guide, explaining how to paint every part of the model from beginning to end. It even has a part that explains dry brushing a whole lot better than me. So once again, thank you Army Painter for giving me these gifts. Back to the video. And now for shading. While there is a lot, some of it is being used in one single area. You'll have some time to wait for the shades to dry before continuing onwards. But for now, gather these up and get ready. First shade is the Speed Paint Peachy Flesh. I would recommend using a medium to dilute it all over the skin, rather than water, which is what I used. Then, use some strong tone over all the brown and bronze details all over the model. Just make sure to avoid too much overspill. Continue on with blue tone. This is as simple as going over all of the handles, but make sure no overspill happens with this shade in specific. Now for all the bone coloured areas, simply use Voodoo shade over them while adding in a bit in the brown on the antlers. Once the speed paint has dried, go over all of the skin with military shade, giving the flesh a Nurgled hue. Let it dry, then use some dark red tone over all of the cracked skin alongside any other areas on the skin that would work with the shade. Tidy up the skin with some purple tone, going over all the areas with spots and pustules. Before one last shade, add some dark tone over all of the metal from the sword, maul, chainmail and any plating that you want to keep as silver. And finally, add in orc skin as the speed paint over all of the armor plating you're wanting as green. Be careful as to not get any of the speed paint on anything else though. And now, the reason why I said help in the first place, the layering step. I may have gone a bit overboard with this step this time round. The process works really well for what I'm wanting, so gather everything up and get ready for my longest layering step yet. The first of many starts with Ivory White. Despite the name of the colour, this paint is going over all the skin on Gelgus. And now Rifle Brown, going over all the edges of the brown, alongside this pattern to be used for the belt. Using monochrome colours just so it's easier to see. After that, Ruddy Terror, this time only going on the belt in this pattern, following the lighter grey. Add in some Command Khaki over the highest points in the brown areas, alongside the pattern seen below in the clip. The final layer for brown is watered down webbing khaki, being used as little U-shapes on the ring webbing, alongside these dots on the belt pattern. After that long part, just use some simple auger blue to cool down and add some highlights to the handles. Then add some Pharaoh Guard over the loincloth alongside adding in some dots on the eyes. Continue on with some skeleton bone, going over all the bone coloured areas, bits of the brown horns, as well as the teeth finally. A simple application of space dust will help finish up all of the spots and pustules on the entire model, finishing up the nasty taints and decay. I did see the faces when I was building the model, so I decided to give that idea that those are stolen souls in that blade, so I began to paint all the faces with ironclad grey. Of course, I did properly layer it with some ash grey just to make the faces stand out a bit better. With a mixture of both normal and dry brushing, apply the darkness over the areas kept black. But if you find it's a bit too dark for your liking, simply do a 1-to-1 with ash grey and try again, while also using the pattern from earlier to paint the black leather belt. Moving back to the metallics now, go over all the edges of the silver details with shining silver. Do the exact same thing, but with true brass over the evil chrome areas, carefully as to avoid any spill onto any other area. As for the last paint of the layering step, add some tainted gold over all the green metallic armour. Once that's done, don't wash out the water pots yet, there is one more gritted paint to come. Onto the effects step now. This is a simple step compared to anything else, just 2 paints and water. So gather everything and get ready to paint. Simply begin the step with Grim Rust, going over all the silver details on the model. Once that is done, rinse out your water pot. While I don't have verdigris, I do have aquamarine. First water down the paints 1 to 3 of paint to water, then apply the super thin paint over all of the bronzed brass area of the model. Now we are finally onto basing. The video will be following the same base style of the Mario Kart piece I did for the short this month. So, gather everything up for the final step. To start the base, I used the darkness over the entire base of the model, though make sure it's a heavy application of the paint so that it's still wet for the next step. The reason is Scarab Green uses paint over some of the red base, making sure the design is going in a swirling style. After letting it dry, I personally added on some more Scarab Green to the centres of the previous green points just for some extra detail. After all of that, I added on some Armageddon dunes to the small portions of the base. Once dried, dry brush and stipple on some ivory white over the patches of sand. Now for the reason why. Turnbull turquoise. Simply use this over all of the sand and the areas surrounding them. Thunderous blue next. Simply use this paint to highlight the small sections of the darkness areas as little strokes over the entire model. I added in that second there because that's in the name of the paint. Let's not forget to highlight the green with Ferrogard. Use this paint as strokes on all the green areas to highlight them as well. Final paint of the model is a simple matte black over the entire rim of the base. Once all of that is done, you can call the mini finished. And there you have it, Gelgus Pust ready to corrupt the realm of life from inside the Jade Abbey. Thank you for watching, and once more, thank you Army Painter for giving me these nice paints. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Alright, that's done now. Whew, that took ages, especially with that sudden sponsorship. Wait, why do I feel like I'm forgetting something?
Because you are forgetting something.
Cookie? What are you doing? Hold on a second. Alright, let's see here. Base, yes. Shade, yes. Sponsorship. Wait, what did I scroll out here? Unbound K. Oh.